Hi guys, welcome back to Lost in My Library. My name's Kate. Today I'm doing an ARC review over Devil's Night by A.N. Willis. This is so good. This is so good. So I pulled out this book. Wait for it. The Disappointing Home Before Dark by Riley Sager. I didn't hate Home Before Dark. Let's get this straight. I did not hate this book, but it was disappointing because I wanted paranormal, and Riley Sager did not deliver on the paranormal, and he continued with his obsession with having an unreliable narrator. I don't know why he can't do anything that write any book that doesn't have an unreliable narrator. I think the world might end if he doesn't write a book with an unreliable narrator. Anyways, this book was disappointing. I didn't hate it, but it was disappointing. And I think one of the biggest things that I did like about Home Before Dark was the aspect that we were getting the book written by the dad. Chapters from the book that her dad wrote about her. I think that was a really cool thing. And then we come around to Devil's Night by A.N. Willis. This is about a girl whose dad wrote a book about her experiences as a child having paranormal experiences. This was at a hotel rather than their own house that they were living in, but the setting is kind of similar. So what actually brings her back to her hometown of Eden, is the fact that she's working for a PR company now, and they are working what is called Devil's Night festival at actually the very hotel that all of this paranormal stuff happens. And if you are like me and liked the aspects of getting to read chapters from the dad's book, this book also includes that. But not only does that include that, but events happening in the past. This is actually paranormal. There's actually ghosts in this one. Unlike Home Before Dark. Sorry, but unlike its counterpart, this is actually ghostly and paranormal. Obviously, I really like this. I actually read this on Kindle with Book Sirens. I had an ARC on it on Kindle, and I liked it so much, I bought it. I've only bought 2 ARCs that I've really enjoyed in my entirety. So, yeah, you can see, I really enjoyed it. So, let me think about whatever. Characters. So let's just go through Caldwell. Our main character, her name is Penny. Obviously, Penny writes novel because there's multiple. Another plus, if you liked this, there is actually 3 now. She is our main character. She is very indecisive. She doesn't like to stay in one place at one time. She moved away from Eden to live in Los Angeles and work at this PR company, and she's trying to prove to everybody that she can stick with one thing for a long time. That's basically what's going on. So she comes to Eden, and she wants to put this on to show that she can make a promise, and she can fulfill that promise. And that's basically it. She falls in love. There is a love story too, and I actually really like the love story. I like her love interest, Matthew. I think Matthew is a good yin to her yang. I do like the chapters that we get of Matthew's point of view. And I like the conversation that he had with his brother. His brother was best friends with Penny when they were kids. I really like the conversation that they had, and Brian, I think, was his name. I believe that was the brother's name. He said, I was never worried about you hurting Penny. I was always worried about Penny hurting you, because she doesn't like to stay in one place. And Penny has a character arc in this, and I really do think she has a very good character arc in it. But with, she discovers she has powers. Well, she kind of already knew she had powers, but learning to use these powers and not run away when things get tough is something that Penny had to learn through the book. And she wanted to save people, basically, and right the wrongs kind of the past, in a way. Nothing, it wasn't really righting wrongs, but yeah, she had a character arc, but it didn't change enough to be a complete 180, because in the end, her and Matthew, she's like, hey, I'm sticking with this job. Actually, she quits that job and is moving with, like, her people that she worked with. She's like, hey, I'm not moving back because I'm not ready to commit to that. I'm like, yes, like, realistic relationships here, like, they're not ready. She's like, not ready, you know, she's still working on that. We're not just doing complete, oh, I'm going to move completely back to Eden. It doesn't make sense. Atmosphere. Hotel. Creepy hotel. And the bank as well. That was also haunted. Oh, I didn't mention the characters in the past. Our main characters in the past are Marion, who is wronged by a man, and she's out for revenge. If you like an old Western kind of story about a woman getting revenge on men who wronged her, this is it. This is half of it. Half of the book that follows her, and I think her story is very interesting, and you can see how things are comparable from the past and present, and you can see how Penny is trying to save the people who were caught up in the mess that was that whole debacle in the past. Atmosphere, great atmosphere of the creepy hotel. Writing's fine, but as like a editor, I see things that I probably wouldn't have seen before I became an editor. It's fine. There's nothing wrong with it. Plot, I thought the plot was great. It was over a weekend, so we were kind of building up to the finale of the festival of what was going on. I was intrigued the entire time to see what Marion would do, the ghost of Marion. Not like Marion, she's not the only ghost. We have the ghost of pretty much the entire cast in the past come back. I was intrigued to see how that was going to go down. Logic, I think it kept within its logic, honestly. The ghosts and their intentions, I feel, were very logical, and you could see the past linked to the present, and I just like doing this. I just really enjoy this. I really, really did enjoy this. Ended up, obviously, giving this 5 stars. If you read Home Before Dark and wanted it paranormal, this is the book for you. Also, there's a cute love story in it as well. I really, really enjoyed it. So, not only did I buy the physical copy of Devil's Night, I also bought the sequels. When I bought these two books, the third book didn't have a physical copy yet. I have since bought the physical copy of the third book, which is called Demon House, I believe. And this one's called Angel Eyes. And this is set in Ashton, which is a place that was mentioned in Devil's Night. So it looks like there's a place called January House. So actually, I requested the arc on Book Sirens. So I will be reading this very, very soon, so I can leave an arc review on Book Sirens to enjoy this. I'm so terrible. Okay, anyways, so January, this much January, this has January's house. I think that is a perfect, and it's snowy, as you can see. It's all snowy. You can't see outside, but there's literally snow on the ground, so I think this is a perfect time to get to this. This was published back in March, by the way. And this was published last year as well. Well, obviously it had to be published last year because I don't know when this was published. It just has the copyright for 2021. If you want to do an arc review for Devil's Night, you can actually go on Book Sirens and request it right now. And then go support the author, because I think that is a fantastic novel if you do so. Thinks she deserves to be supported after reading the book. I think she does, because I obviously bought a physical copy. Then I bought the sequel, and I bought the other sequel that just came out, actually, like a couple weeks ago. That's why I wanted to get a review out to get a little bit of hype. Alright. Well, and she has other books too, so maybe you'll like, because I think, she's the author of the historical ghost story How Much in a Storm in the Byrne House duology. I think a couple of those are on Book Sirens, and I believe if you subscribe to her, on her website, subscribe for her newsletters, I think you get the prequel to Devil's Night. I have yet to read that, so very excited. I'm so excited to read the sequel. This is so good. You should go pick it up, if you can. I will leave links in the description to where you can buy this. I will also leave a link to Aimless's website if you so choose. I am not sponsored by Aimless. I mean, I was given a review copy of Devil's Night for an honest review, and this has been my honest review. I have not been paid in any way, shape, or form. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you have read these books, tell me, because I have not heard one single person talk about these books. They're so good. It's just so good, okay? Thank you guys for watching. Go be a good cabbage today. Do something kind for someone, even if it's for yourself. And I will see you in my next video. Bye, guys.